Hello and welcome to Luton GBT. Today I'll be taking you on a journey through the aspects of the LGBT community in Luton and delve into the question of how much homophobia affects mental health. So come with me.
And I am here today because I am gay.
Okay.
Conchia's got nothing on this, darling.
Alright, so what are you guys proud of? What are you proud of? What are you proud of?
For you?
None.
None whatsoever. With your
My
career?
film career took off. I hadn't had one before, really. I've never met a gay person who regrets coming out.
I'm here outside Luton Sixth Form College and I'm about to interview some people about their experiences with their LGBT club over here and also just the community in general. I'm also going to interview Leanne, who is the head of the LGBT club over here. I'm going to ask some members of it as well. I'm just outside the Zen Garden here over at the college and I'm going to interview Leanne about mental health in the LGBT community. So Leanne, what do you do in the college in terms of the LGBT club?
So the way that it came about was when I was training to be a teacher. I was actually training here on the job, and the last thing that we were asked to do was to investigate some sort of policy or something at the college that interested us. And because I was gay myself, I was interested in the equality policy, and so I looked into it and actually found that at the time there'd been a recent change in the law, and I felt that actually the college hadn't moved forward enough and that we might actually be not keeping up with changing regulations, and that it wasn't enough to just say that we were stopping bullying of various equality groups and that we were making sure there was equality. We were supposed to actively promote and support. And so at that point the principal asked me to form a sort of subcommittee of teachers, and one of the things that we decided would be important was to celebrate LGBT History Month, and the other thing we decided would be important would be to start a support and social group for other LGBT students. So so that all started about 6 or 7 years ago, but the reality is it's a great idea, and it takes quite a lot of work from staff to get that sort of thing going, but I think also it's a more difficult group of people to target because you can't identify them by looking at them. And often people don't necessarily feel comfortable at this age to self-identify as gay, or in fact they might just not feel that they can or have even reached that stage in their mind themselves. So it's quite a difficult group to target. So generally the membership of the group is relatively small, around 10 to a dozen. But I always feel that the fact that we have that group, the fact that emails go out across the student body saying, we're here, we care, we want to listen, you're important, my hope is that that message gets to people who don't want to walk through the door of the group or don't want to, talk about any of those things or even admit it to themselves, but they're just at some point it makes them just feel like this college, and therefore hopefully the world in general, is actually going to eventually be a supportive place.
Do you think that social attitudes and social views towards, for example, bisexual people, that stereotype, they think they're greedy, do you think they actually can affect their mental health in a really bad way?
Yes, is the honest answer.
So I decided to go to the town centre in Luton and also the college to ask some people on their views on homosexuality.
I think that people should just get on with it and allow them to be who they are as a person.
I don't mind homosexuality, I'm bisexual.
Okay.
So, I was before I got married. So homosexuality, I have no concerns with it whatsoever.
I haven't really got a view on it really, it doesn't bother me.
So do you think it's right, people should be allowed to?
I think people should be allowed to do whatever they want to do.
Yeah. Okay.
I think that we should just accept them and everyone should be treated equally. Yeah.
about to interview someone who prefers to remain anonymous, and I'm going to talk to them about mental health and their personal experience with coming out. How do you think people would react to you coming out?
Well, I've already come out to quite a few people. Most, if not all, of my friends already know that I'm gay. So,
so including new ones.
Including new ones. It's not really. I don't sort of go around throwing a parade and making a big deal out of it. I sort of just slide it into a conversation and make sure that they're aware. Oh, this is a thing about me.
Okay, so when you came out to your friends, how did you approach it, really?
The very first time I tried, I failed. I was trying to come out to one of my two closer friends, and I thought, now's it's now or never. So I thought I'd try, and it didn't happen very well. It was a very spur of the moment thing, and I think that's why I sort of wimped out a little bit. But the first time I actually properly came out to my friend, I gave myself about a 10-minute sort of breathing period in which I was psyching myself and saying, I'm ready, this is what I'm going to do. And then
it's a pretty hard thing to do.
I'm here at the TV studio in Luton Sixth Form College, and I'm about to talk to James Colding, who is bisexual himself. So we managed to take a hold of him to ask him a couple of questions. Hello, James.
Hi, you alright?
You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Right, that's good. When did you first realise that you were bisexual?
I think I knew from the age of about 11 or so that I wasn't normal.
Okay.
Well, not normal, but I knew that I was different to everyone else. Okay. And then because it wasn't so socially known and not as many people knew about it when I was that age, I think it took me until about year 9 or 10 to actually realise myself.
Yeah.
Other people kind of assumed, but I never really thought about it until about that age.
Okay. And when you did come out, did people start treating you a bit differently, maybe negatively or positively?
Yeah, a bit of both.
Yeah.
My close friends were really positive and supporting. It really helped that I had a really close group of friends that understood and knew about that part of culture and society.
Yeah.
But then other people in my year at school were a bit wary about it.
Yeah.
They didn't understand it, I don't think. So it definitely split people that I knew in half, to people that understood and cared, to people that didn't understand and kind of rejected it a little bit.
Remember, if you are struggling to come out to your family or friends, you're not alone. Here's some advice from some of the people I've interviewed about how to come out and go about it. So Leanne, just one final question. What advice would you give to someone who's come to terms with their sexuality and questioning it, really?
I would say to not worry, to believe that there is a lot of support out there, there is a lot of understanding, and that the world is constantly changing and renewing its views and its prejudices against LGBT people.
I'd say talk to people about it, really, because being a teenager and not knowing who you are, trying to figure it out and doing it on your own is so difficult.
I would tell them to take comfort in knowing that if somebody is truly your friend, they just won't care. Yeah.
So in conclusion, I think we've learned that Luton has a very accepting view of the LGBT community, especially here at Luton Sixth Form College, where many people are actually part of it, and they also have very in-depth experiences about it. Thank you for watching.